Hey, welcome to MLC podcast, Mid-Game Life Crisis. I am Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf.
What up, my man?
Yeah, this is episode 2.
Episode 2 of MLC podcast.
002.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's been... by the time this will be up in the channel, it will be probably around a month since the last podcast. This will be a monthly thing. But we also have, like, every week, we have short-term content from 10 to 15 minutes usually. Go check it out. It also has video in it. It's not just audio. Those videos we're planning to increase the quality as time goes by, both the audio and the video editing. And we're serious about this, guys.
Yes.
We are.
The quality of the content will increase. The quality of the hosters will decrease.
Exactly. We are old, yes. All right, guys. So today is going to be a bit of a, I wouldn't say departure from our usual, because we had exactly one episode. But if last episode was very chill, we talked about Baldur's Gate 3, which before we go into the heavy stuff, I do want to get an update on Baldur's Gate 3, because it's been a while since we talked last about it. You probably got to play it a bit. I wanted to know if you had anything to add to our last conversation. Okay, so we'll get to that in a moment. And after that, we're going to talk about a pretty depressing subject that goes in the gaming industry. We just, as two avid gamers that have been gaming all our lives, we can't ignore this. We can't just pretend it doesn't exist. The industry is on fire this year and last year. It started last year, but it's moving on forward this year, even worse. And the year just started. And we'll talk about that a lot, because a lot of games got canceled, a lot of people got fired. A lot of people got fired.
A lot.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense when it happened in the most successful year of gaming ever, with 2023. Crazy. It's ridiculous. There's no correlation between the things. It doesn't make sense. We'll get into that. First, I want to know, Wolf, about an update about how you're enjoying Baldur's Gate 3, and if you want to add anything to our last conversation about it.
Yes. I am enjoying this game very much. It is a very good game. I'm having fun with it. I still have the same problems with it. I think there's not enough NPCs that join your group compared to the previous one, at least.
Right.
And I think, so far at least, I still haven't... I'm in Act 2. Okay, I don't know if in the middle, but I'm in Act 2.
Yep.
And the romances are not very engaging.
Without spoiling. Try not
I'm
to
not saying
spoil.
anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they're not
Even
engaging.
I didn't get to Act 2, so...
So, in Baldur's Gate 2, the romances would help. Something about one of your relationships would happen every long rest, basically. You'd go to sleep for the night, and someone would come to you to talk to you.
Right.
You know?
And in BG3?
No, you can go through multiple long rests, and nothing really...
So would you
happens.
say the romance options there are like, what, they're too...
They feel lacking to me. I want more. And
is it like
not a lot.
It's more about the sex and not so much about the actual romance, you know what I mean?
No, they make a build-up.
Because you get to know those characters, right? Do you get to know
But that's
them?
the thing, you get to know, it doesn't feel like deep enough. I don't know.
Really? Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Because you're not the first I heard say this. I heard more criticism about the romances in this game, and the fact that things happen too quickly a lot in the game. Like you get to sleep with the person you want very fast, and
That depends on the person.
right.
And that's okay, because this has to do with their, personality.
Right, but from what I heard, that exactly like you said, I haven't experienced it.
Come on, there were quick plays, like a challenge of who can get Lazelle to sleep with them fast.
Yeah,
fast enough.
Lazelle is a straight up slut. Yeah. And she's
I
proud
don't
of
think-
it. She's
I
proud
don't
of it.
think slut is the right. Exactly, I don't think slut is the right way to describe it.
I'm just
in
being,
her culture, sex is a non-issue.
Exactly. I'm being a fucking asshole. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
I love Lazelle, to be honest. I love the character. Last time I
hate her.
Yeah, you told me that you hate her. You told me that you hate her. I enjoyed that character. I do. Listen. In the end of the day, I stopped playing the game. I still haven't gotten back to it. I plan on getting back to it, but I still haven't. So it as good as it is, it still didn't manage to make me want to continue playing it. But I'm not the target demographic for that game anymore. I stopped playing and enjoying CRPGs a long time ago. So it's probably on
No,
me.
but I played lots of CRPGs. This one stands out.
I know, it does stand out. Mostly because of how cinematic it is compared to other CRPGs.
Yeah. It's immersive. It's good cinematics. By the way, in the previous podcast, I criticized the animations, the character animations. I said that at least the main character animations were not convincing to me.
And I pushed back about that.
Yeah, but we are each entitled to our opinion,
of course.
even if it's wrong. It kind of grew on me. Like in the second act,
Oh, really?
The animations are good. I enjoy even the main character animations. They're much better. They feel less repetitive. Maybe I was overly critical at first, or maybe they grew on me. I don't know.
It sounds like overall you warmed up more to the game even since last we talked.
Yeah, it's really good.
Because you had some, we were a bit critical about it last time. We gave it a ton of praise, right? The game is probably the most praised game ever at this point from the media. But we did also give it some, because both of us haven't finished it yet and I stopped playing it. We gave our issues with it.
Yeah.
But since then it seems like you warmed up a bit to it.
Look, no game is perfect.
Of course not.
Yeah, so of course it has its downsides, but overall it's a good experience. I'm enjoying it a lot, and this means it all.
Just a good experience or a very good
I'm
experience?
enjoying it a lot. This means it all. I want to play more of it. I don't have enough time to play it.
Okay.
And
that's
I'm
a good problem, yeah.
And I'm even sad about the way that I do get to play it, because I'm so tired a lot of the time. But this is a game that really needs your focus to see the small things and to get, even to remember things that other characters mentioned, to find secrets, whatever.
Yeah.
And I am drowsy half the time I play. It's
not the game. It's not the game's fault.
No, it's not the game's fault.
You just you have 3 kids, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, I get it, man. Oh, I don't really get it, but I get it. I don't really get it because I don't have kids, but I get it what you mean about you need to be focused.
I'm just exhausted when I play it,
Yeah.
and it's not. It hurts my fun, and it sucks.
Yeah, but this too shall pass, my friend. And also.
I'm already planning the next playthrough. Come on.
Yeah. Oh wow, you crazy person. You're never gonna play anything else for the next 2 years, bro, because you won't have time. It's ridiculous.
And the next games I plan to play are also big ones.
This is why
I'm gonna play Starfield at some point for sure.
Yeah.
So that game is also gonna be like 1,000 hours or something.
Well, by the time you play it, it will be actually a good game.
Exactly. I win on all worlds.
All right, man. That was the fun part. Now we move to the depressing part. I'm sorry, guys. We have to do this. We can't. We live in this. We live. We love the industry, with the gaming industry, with all its faults. We love it.
And it's destroying itself.
It is. So let's get into it, man. Fucking Embracer Group, and not just Embracer Group, but Embracer Group is a huge part of it. And the whole layoff. What would you call it? Layoff epidemic.
Yeah.
That has started to really ramp up.
The layoff tsunami. I mean, we are at a year where it's not even the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, we are recording this in March
middle
16th.
of March.
Yeah, middle of March.
It's not even the end of the first quarter.
2024.
And already it broke by far the record of last year's, the entire year's amount of layoffs.
That's ridiculous.
And this is following the gaming industry is one of the most profitable years in history. Like, lots of companies had turned a very good profit. Games were successful. And we're talking about a period of coming out of the, Corona epidemic, which is supposed to bring down, to make a
deflating?
Yeah, exactly. There's supposed to be a decline in the industry because lots of people are not at home as much.
Yes.
And still they had a very profitable year. Suddenly they let off like 1 million people.
Wasn't a record year?
Something like that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. Like, 2023 is one of the most successful years of gaming ever, since ever. Because you had so many good and huge games come out that year. Bro, the fact that there's so much layoffs, and like you just said, that they already broke the record of last year.
So all these companies said, oh, we had a good year, time to let go of everyone.
I don't understand where's the correlation? How is it that the most successful year of gaming in sales and in critical praise is correlated with the most layoffs and most cancelled projects? Why?
What the industry is becoming is like a project-oriented kind of industry. All these companies, they know in advance they hire developers for this project only, and they know that when the project is done, they are going to get rid of everyone.
It's almost like it's not even workers. It's like freelancers.
Exactly.
And
this is
it's
what they're creating.
It's like outsourcing.
This is what they're creating, and you can already see stems of this where people are, while they're working, are always working on their resume and always looking for the next job, the next hit. They're not loyal to the company. They're not loyal to the project they're working on, and you can see the results. Because if you're not passionate and you're not loyal to what you're working on, then you're not going to do the best job, and you're not going to be as creative.
Exactly.
And more than that, they are creating a cutthroat environment. Developers are reporting how, because these companies are usually letting go of the weakest link, people are sabotaging each other's work.
Yes.
So they don't get to be the ones that are laid off.
Yes.
This is hurting the project 100%. The projects are becoming cheaper in results.
Yes. I agree with everything you just said. Let's just mention the last 6 months, all right? 6 to 7 months. Only Embracer Group, which is a Swedish group, all right?
They were THQ Nordic and Nordic Games.
I know that company.
Yeah. Oh, those names were always associated with anti-consumer crap and all kinds of shit.
But they took it to the next level this time.
Yeah.
They became Embracer Group, or...
First they rebranded, so no one remembers the shady business.
Yeah, but that rebranding didn't work out for them, because right now Embracer Group, the meme over the internet is Embracer Group is called Eraser Group.
Eraser Group.
Because the amount of cancelled projects and games and the amount of people they let go.
They managed to topple from this mountain EA. EA for years had the reputation of the company that buys a studio and then eliminates it.
EA is no longer the greatest evil, bro.
No one talks about EA, basically.
Yeah.
People are like, okay, EA is just like another gaming company or another company.
Even though EA keeps making those horrible fucking sports games, all those...
FIFA is there.
Those not just FIFA, the NBA, the NFL, all those games, they're all
also some fighting games, WWF or something.
But all those games are the same shit. They
same monetized crap.
They use the same game engine for like 10 years. They make like the extremely small changes. They monetize everything.
Yeah, lots of gambling mechanics, and it's for PG-3+.
Yes.
Let your kids gamble away.
Oh, and people buy that shit up like it's hot candy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to mention specifically Embracer Group or Eraser Group, because those motherfuckers are like a huge part of the problem, right? Just them alone already canceled 29 games in the last 6 months and let go of 1,400 developers, or rather not developers, people from around the industry. Now Embracer Group, they bought,
Embracer Group is a solely gaming company.
We should mention, they bought, like, was it 2 years ago? They bought like 100 companies, hundreds of companies.
Yeah, there was a meme culture around them buying everything. They just kept buying things, but what they started doing is being the capitalistic gamer.
Yeah.
The capitalistic player. This is what they do. They decided to go for investments and profit, and that they don't care about the products or what they're making or the IPs they represent. Now they're like, okay, this company is worth this much money. We have this money. Buy them. Okay, let's see what we do with them. This is a very, very, very not only capitalistic, very American capitalistic way of doing things, and which is surprising because they're Swedish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't understand. I don't understand it. They had like 139 companies or studios under their umbrella, right? They bought them up crazily, probably a part of the whole COVID bubble craze.
They finished last year, December, with 132. They already closed 7 companies before the end of last year.
Yeah, by now they already released.
They closed more, and
big
names. Big names they closed. Volition Gaming they closed, the Deus Ex developer. They closed Volition did Saints Row.
Saints Row, yeah.
They canceled Deus Ex. They closed Free Radical, which develops Time Splitters.
Gearbox, Crystal Dynamics.
Those weren't closed. They in Gearbox, Beamdog, and Crystal Dynamics, they fired key departments.
Yeah, that's all. That's
Closed key departments.
it's pretty much like killing those fucking.
Yeah,
companies.
it's preparing them. They're like preparing the corpse.
Those companies, most of those companies are AA companies. They're not huge corporations. They're relatively small companies.
Gearbox made Border.
Gearbox are pretty big, but
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, sure. Gearbox are pretty big, but the other companies, Volition, are not that big. Crystal
No,
Dynamics
but
are not
Crystal
that big.
Dynamics are not big. What did they make?
No, they made a lot of games. We won't get
The
into
name
it.
is very.
It is, but they're not. You have companies that are not very big, but they're very, very successful. They make a lot of good games. I'm talking. It's usually, you know, the biggest companies are the AAA companies. Usually, both publish and develop their own games, or they buy a other big company, and that company develops for them. Right? That's usually the pure AAA or quadruple-A gaming.
Exactly. All this gaming the game industry has some corporations that are becoming so huge. These are giant fish. They just open their mouths and swallow some companies on the way.
Yep.
If Microsoft swallowed Activision Blizzard was the largest third-party developer in the world. They were huge.
They're still huge.
But they got and Microsoft swallowed them.
Yeah, swallowed them like they're nothing.
How much was that? $65 billion they bought them?
69 billion.
Yeah, 69 billion. Oh, look at that! 2 months have passed, and Microsoft only in the gaming sector, only in their gaming division, not the entire Microsoft, only in gaming, fired this year 1,900 heads.
That's ridiculous.
So you had money to swallow one of the largest companies in the world?
Well, they claimed.
Now let's fire thousands of people.
I heard they claimed that Microsoft claimed that those layoffs were planned regardless of the purchase. They said that, and I actually believe them, because that would be a very, very Activision Blizzard thing to do, to lay off a bunch of people after having the most successful selling game ever in Diablo 4 in the same year.
All these companies always, some of these layoffs, these workers find out about it through social media.
Oh yeah, I mean,
or you know, or like in a meme, like in a memo that goes out and it's effective immediately. And this is just scummy business. I know that for the company this is important. Okay, we have to show their side as well.
Yeah.
Like workers can hurt the company when they get fired. They can sell secrets. They can sell like if you fire after 19,000 people and you let them know a day in advance, all these 1,900 people can sell all their stocks at once, and this tanks the company worth. For example,
that's why they're not doing it.
Like they're doing all this to
I didn't even consider that.
They're doing all kinds of measures to protect themselves.
Holy shit, that's really scummy.
But you know, they gotta look for their own interest.
They gotta look out for their investors' interest.
Also,
the investors
the
investors are the big boss here. Okay.
Yes.
And everything that these companies are doing, all those shady shit that they're doing, it's all for the investors to please them. To please, because they want us. Right now, what's going on is it's unchecked capitalism. It's unregulated, unchecked. It's going bonkers. It's infinite, like just like the last Yakuza game that came out, Like a Dragon, infinite wealth. It never, it must never go down. It must always go up.
Yes,
always.
That's the broken capitalism.
Yes,
model.
It doesn't matter how successful your game is, because if you're not making more money than you did last quarter, you have failed.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what your projections are to the future. It only matters what you gave this fucking quarter. And if you didn't give them what they wanted this quarter, next quarter you're gonna make some sacrifices, painful sacrifices, which means usually fucking firing hardworking people who made your company what it is today.
Yeah, not taking the salary of your CEO who makes billions a year and cutting it by bit. No. That is unheard of. You can save money by firing thousands of people.
You know, that's something that I wanna, if you wanna give the optimistic view of this unfortunate situation, you gotta look at Japan, how Japan does things. All right, don't get me wrong. They got their share of issues over there as well. However, when it comes to the big companies like Capcom, Sega, Nintendo, all those companies, yeah, they got their scummy stuff that they do as well. But when it comes to their CEOs taking responsibility for their failures, they do that correctly over there. And also, wait, before you say, also, not only do they take responsibility there and they actually usually fire themselves when they fuck up morally, and someone else replaces them. This is like something that is
Or
known.
cut off their salary.
Yeah. This comes back to the feudal Japan. When you fucked up, you used to commit seppuku.
Yeah.
It's the same principle. It's the same principle. You take blame for your failure as a man and as a CEO. It doesn't matter, man or woman. You take blame as your failure, and you take full responsibility. And that's it. You remove yourself and you let someone else have his chance. It's something unheard of in the Western world.
Even when the invasion of Clandatu failed, that guy stepped down. He was like, I failed, and then that woman came and was like, we're gonna make a new war.
And that's what I'm talking about. Oh, so what I want to say,
But this is in their culture in Japan.
Yes, yeah. But what I want to say is that they also reward their successes. Capcom had a very, very 2023, very good 2023, like most companies. And unlike most companies in the West that got fired, a lot of people in those successful franchises, in Capcom they actually raised the salaries and the hiring conditions that they give their people. They raised everything up because they had such a successful year. This is how it's supposed to be, man.
Yes.
Oh, and by the way, they're not only firing, they're not only firing people, they're hiring people right now.
Yeah.
They need more people because they're so successful with Resident Evil and all those.
And they want to grow.
Yes, they want to go. And now again, this is not a perfect company. They also have weird stuff that they do, weird microtransactions here and there. Yeah, they do shady shit. But yes, of course, they do that shit because they follow the trends. But the companies themselves, the conditions of the developers are good. They're happy. They're getting good salaries. They're living healthy lives, and their CEOs take responsibility when they fuck up.
There's two things that need to be said here. First, about the culture, okay?
Yeah, it's a different culture for sure.
And this is evident. There was a famous story that ran about one of the games that Capcom was publishing in the States. They gave the disc. This is the old times of physical discs. And the Capcom America contacted Capcom Japan to tell them, you have stuff on the disc that people can leak to the internet and it will ruin everything.
Yeah.
And the reply from, according to the story, the reply from the Japan company was, but this is not allowed to do. What do you mean? It doesn't make sense for people to do it because it's not allowed. It's illegal. And the American company was like, what? So what if it's illegal? It doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Oh my God! Yeah,
this is how they think. For them, a structured, lawed society is what they know. This is their culture. If you stray from the norm, you are ashamed and you hurt your family honor and this is very serious stuff for them. At least it used to be. I don't know today. I'm not a Japanese expert.
No. I mean, yeah.
Anyway, and the second thing, I'm pretty sure there are laws in Japan. They can't, even if they want to, lay off 100, 800 people at once.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure they have laws there in Japan that if a company wants to lay off a large number of people, like in the tens or hundreds, they have to prove to court that they are losing money, that they are going bankrupt, that they are declining, and they have to let go of people unless, or it means bad for the company.
Really?
If the company is doing well, they are not allowed to fire a lot of people.
That's I didn't know that. Yeah. So So there's a lot of things that we here in the West, if you can call us that, can learn from some of those countries.
We think you go to the suits, you go to the investors, and they think everything is fine. The gaming industry was booming and doing great until the profits started, until the suits started noticing the sector, the industry. Then started the investments, companies started going public, things stopped being private, and you started seeing all the shady, disgusting capitalist things showing up. And the companies that are not doing these things are all the privately owned AA companies or indie companies. Those are the ones that keep thinking about their product and their customer first because they are doing this out of passion and not to make profit.
I think that, listen, you have two good examples right now of games that are doing it, of developers that are doing it correctly. One is, of course, the one that we already talked a lot about in the last podcast and even in this one, Larian Studios, the ones who made Baldur's Gate 3. Their CEO is like a very smart dude. Every now and then he shares his thoughts with the gaming community, and it's always like really good stuff. He's a very logical person, he's just saying stuff that are very basic today, that is used to be very basic and understood by everyone who made games.
Yeah.
And today are like very rare to find in studios, right? He said, listen, just make a good game that you would love to play yourself, that you would love a game that the gameplay, the fun is the most important thing in it. And trust me, if you do that and you're passionate about what you're doing, the money will come eventually. It will come. Will it be as like in the numbers that these corporations are hoping in those live service shitfests? No, probably not. But you will be so much more fulfilled in your life. You'll feel creatively fulfilled, and you'll have plenty of money to spend. You'll be fine. You won't have generational money to spend like those greedy fucking Bobby Kotick's and the likes, right? Money for, like, he has money for generations. But that guy, I don't know how he sleeps at night with the shit he pulls on a daily basis, or he used to pull before they finally left fucking Activision Blizzard.
When you make hundreds of millions of dollars a year, yeah, I think there's lots of things you can use the money for to make you still sleep well at night.
Yeah, I get wanting to make money. Of course, I get capitalism. I like capitalism. I think it's the work you put in, you should get paid for it. Yes, I agree with all of it. I just don't understand how it goes so... It's like a monster now. It's an unchecked monster that just does whatever it wants, eats everything and doesn't care about the casualties.
95% of the world's capital is held by 5% of the population.
That's ridiculous.
This tells you everything.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, man.
So the idea of capitalism was okay, of competition and getting what you deserve for your hard work.
Yes.
But it was unregulated, and somewhere along the way, things got out of control, because in this type of, economics, money makes money. So once you started making a lot of money, making that money into a lot more money by pushing your competition aside became really easy.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the problem.
It's a huge problem, I'd say. I mean, listen, every now and then you get to hear investor calls from one of those big companies. Lately, we got to hear from from Warner Brothers, your favorite company. By the way, go check our latest. Well, I don't know if it won't be the latest by the time this comes out. But one of our videos, short content videos, it's exactly we're talking about Warner Brothers and the shenanigans they're pulling over there, and we're talking about the whole company, not just the gaming company, like the whole company Warner Brothers that made still make great movies. They're very shady. Their CEO is very shady.
We might have made some inaccurate claims about names there, but this should never be taken seriously too much with us.
Nah, it should be fine. It's mostly accurate. Anyways.
No, because we tried to talk about the gaming division of this company, but afterwards I realized that Warner Brothers don't work that way. It's Warner Brothers. Everything is Warner Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
They're one big company and they deal with everything.
They have their in-game developers.
Yeah, but they also have inside divisions. But when you can't talk about like the Warner Brothers gaming company. No, the entire Warner Brothers is the company, and they have a division.
And their CEO is like the guy who makes the
Zaslav guy. He's the big honcho.
In the end of the day, what he says goes all over the company.
Exactly.
And he's the one who's directing them to this live service. Everything should be a live service from now on.
Sure, because to him, you say everything that the guy from Larian said now. You didn't say his name, so I can call him by name.
Fuck. I'll keep talking.
Okay. Anyway, so. He would say that this guy has a completely different view, which is silly because he's not making maximum profit.
Yep.
He cares about maximum profit. He says, great, we're going to make a game that's fun that I want to play. I like playing Candy Crush. I like playing all those monetized games on mobile. They're fun for me.
Yeah.
I want to make a game like that, which will make 100 times more profit. And my investors will be happy. And then I will fire all the guys that work on this project because I'll get guys for a new project. And... I'll keep making money.
Sven Winkel. That's the name of the Larian. Wow, it's 28 years ago.
Sven Vink. When did you see an L?
Sven Vink, sorry, yeah. Sure.
And it's not a Sven, it's a W. They usually write Sven with V? No? I don't know. I'm not Scandinavian.
That's his name, man. I'm not Scandinavian either, so shut up. It's Sven Vink, and these guys are they're based in Belgium. Man, it was founded 28 years ago. So this you can't, and they're still not publicly traded. They said, they also said, Sven said, another one of his wise words. He said that he doesn't want to. He doesn't even think about ever going publicly traded. He has, even though he got a lot of offers since the success of BG3, he got a lot of offers of a lot of money.
Sure.
To be bought by one of the big companies.
Investors, all these big companies say, "Oh, it's like it's exactly what I said in the episode."
Yeah.
The episode that we talked about.
Let me just say. So Sven, he said they're not thinking about going publicly traded. They want to try to stay private. And another CEO who said that lately is the guy who the Helldivers CEO. Now the difference is that Helldivers CEO, their publisher is Sony. Sony are fucking huge. Humongous.
No, but the question is, Sony is owning.
Yeah, so no, Sony doesn't. From what I understand, Sony doesn't own them. So they have pretty much almost all of their creative freedom. They maintain it, and it's very obvious. You can see it in the game, Helldivers. It's Helldivers 2 is very like you can tell a lot of passion went into it, and it's a AA company.
Yeah,
and their CEO said, and it's also
I'm loving AA games.
Yeah, and it's also an European company. By the way, those European companies are doing giving the Western companies.
I'm very happy.
I run for their money.
I'm very happy if the European gaming industry blooms.
It is blooming.
Okay?
It is blooming.
It blooms even more.
I mean, CD Projekt and Ubisoft.
Exactly. Ubisoft is a bad example.
No. They were a good example. They used to be a good example.
Yeah, but now they're a shitty example.
Yeah, CD Projekt. You can also say that they became.
No, there was a game that came out not long ago, an action game about fencing in like Three Musketeers. It's also it's a French company. The game is very successful. It's a AA game.
Which game is it?
I don't remember the name, so we're gonna have to check it up later. I've heard good things about it. It's a very fun action game of fighting with a sword. And this is also a European company, a French company.
Yeah, the guys who made the RoboCop
yes,
game.
Also
they're
Polish.
Yeah, they're Polish. Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I mean. Because in Europe, if the gaming industry blooms, it's perfect. Because Europe has much more regulation. They have much regulation on how much on worker health and unionizing and all kinds of things. You know, not all of Europe, because Poland is different than Belgium.
Come on. Ubisoft, they're in France. France is like supposed to be one of the most progressive countries in the world, but the shit that went down there.
But the shit that went down there is sexual. It's not about worker.
So how are those two brothers still working there? If Guillermo is still working, is still the CEO.
First, a private company.
They're not a fully company. They're not fully private.
No, not fully private. No, but the majority of the shares is owned by the Guillemot family.
So that's why he's still breathing, as they say, still not fired, I guess.
No, but as long as the company is giving profit, the investors don't give a shit about the reputation.
But they had a lot of issues financially. Their last few games were not very successful, man.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Even though they still make great games, by the way. I heard the new Prince of Persia that they made. They made the new Prince of Persia. People saying that it's one of the best games of the year. It's like legitimately a great game because they have a lot of small studios under them. They're a huge company, but they have a lot of small studios under them that are not in France. They're not even based in France.
They're also a publisher.
Yes, but those small studios, yes, exactly. They're a big European publisher. A lot of their smaller studios are very good, man. The Avatar game that they made, Mists of Pandaria, whatever it's named, it's also probably getting a very good reviews.
You're talking about the games for gamers. You probably don't even know the games that they have for the general public. You know, the people you don't call gamers. Yeah. You know what Just Dance is?
Yo, I heard about it. I know about that. Yeah.
This is something that is not for you.
Yes,
okay, this is for people who want to dance in front of their TV.
Yeah.
And this thing is very successful and it's done well. My kid, I own this game. My kid loves it. She dances in front of the thing the entire fucking
Wait,
day.
which one? How old?
She's 6 years old.
See, okay, yeah, makes sense.
All day she dances in front of this thing. Loves this game. I had to spend, and this game is monetized.
That's your eldest,
like,
right?
Yeah, this game is heavily monetized.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Okay, so they have games that catch on, that are good, that people like.
Yeah.
This is fine. But as a company, you know, and the stuff that, the bad stuff that was for Ubisoft is like sexual harassment and stuff like that. And France is a weird place when it comes to sex.
That's true.
Okay,
you know what? That's
like
fucking true. By the way, Japan too. We should mention Japan is very weird.
Yeah,
about
but
sex
they are weird in fetishes. No, I'm talking about like in the norm of sex in France. You have polls like 50% of married couples there have affairs. This is like a big thing in France. You have your wife and you have your mistress, and this is the norm.
Yeah, but are you allowed to fuck her in your workplace? I mean, are you allowed to sexually harass your workers?
No, we're not allowed legally. You're probably not allowed. But when sex is a very main pillar of your society, you know, these laws
so
and
you're saying this is
become
also
very gray.
So you're saying this also, just like the Japan thing, this is a cultural thing.
I think so. I'm not French. I don't live in France.
Oui, oui.
This is speculation at best. Okay, but this is like when I read papers and stories about France, sex is always central.
Yeah, it does. Their cinema is there's a lot of movies that are very, like, when it comes to movies, they usually break a lot of boundaries. When it comes to the sex scenes and stuff like that, they're very, like, authentic about it, let's just say.
Yeah. Lots of at least 80s, 90s movies. Also, you know, S&M started in France, I think. Also,
I don't know about that. Don't say that without knowing for sure.
No, we can check it, but because I remember there's a French name that is associated with breaking boundaries.
Now I have to check
sex.
because of you. I have to check now. You have to talk while I check.
Yeah, you check. You do whatever you need to do.
I have to know.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do,
man. For sure.
Yes. All I'm saying is, in Europe, it's much more regulated. The laws and privacy and workers, and this is why I think that if European gaming industry is blooming, I like it. There's bad fruit there, of course.
Of course.
Embracer Group, THQ Nordic, they were THQ Nordic,
yeah.
and Ubisoft, but lots of AA companies are doing really well there.
Yeah, they are. Wow. Okay, so I'm trying to find the origin.
I just remember a name. There's like a name.
You might be correct, my friend.
There's a name, a French name that is associated with this, of breaking boundaries, of doing things that are taboo.
It does seem. It might be Belgian. It might be Belgian. The same.
But Belgian is half France.
Half French,
it is.
Half German. Yeah. It's the same company that gave us BG3 also gave us an S&M apparently. Fascinating.
Look, BG3 has some freaky stuff when it comes to sex.
Oh, it does? It sure does. That's actually some of the funniest shit in the game.
Yeah. There's some freaky stuff there.
There is.
some scenes there, like, I'm not even talking about romance scenes, you know, like between the characters. Like regular stuff, like you walk with your party somewhere and I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just say you walk into a barn and anyone who has had this scene knows what I'm talking about, and you're like, your jaw stays open, you're like, okay. You went there.
Oh man. Yeah, so the industry is fucked, I think is what we're trying to say. In general, at least the AAA industry, okay? The independent and the AA industry is actually blooming, I'd say, right now.
Yes.
They're doing very well. So more and more, there's less and less reason to make your company publicly traded now or have investors as time goes on, especially if you want to maintain control, creative control of your company and not have to fire people the moment something doesn't go your way, and you want to protect your fucking life's work, basically. I think if you want to go public, yeah, you're probably gonna gain a bit more money in the short term, but you will lose money in the long term because you will lose your passion.
Companies go public
and you get the guy that
you might get fired. Make money.
Yeah,
it's an exit.
Yeah.
This is when they sell. When you own this gaming company, if you've decided you want to retire, you sell it and make a buck.
Yeah,
a big buck.
A big buck.
Bucket of bucks.
I'd say that again. Yeah, for sure.
But this is usually the reason. So it has nothing to do with the quality of your games. You don't decide to go public because you want to increase the amount of the quality of your games or the amount of money that you bring in as investment. No, you start the company when you want to make money.
Yeah, that's exactly it, man.
And the industry is gonna be divided by two. You're gonna have the quadruple-A companies making the high quality, super monetized games that are probably going to be very related to other media.
Bro, it's 33% more A.
Yes. No, I'm saying you also see like how games are now spreading into the movie industry and the TV industry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. This is the new trend, right?
Exactly. So the big companies, the quadruple-A companies are going to be making. We need to do this in a funny voice. The quadruple-A companies.
I'm refusing to call it fucking. There is no quadruple-A.
Yes.
There is no.
The big companies are gonna make those monetized big IPs. Like the things that need licensing, like DC, Marvel, Lord of the Rings, all Star Wars. They're gonna dish out those kind of games, and associated with shows and movies and mobile, and you're gonna see it on all the mediascape. And it's not gonna be the quality and soul that you're looking for.
It's gonna
if you want to get the games that have a soul, an artistic view, and a vision of how the game should be, that's gonna be in the indie and double A.
I think you can see some of it happening or happened already in if you allow me to make the analogy. It's not even an analogy, like you said. Those two worlds are now. Those two worlds are very connected, and now we're gonna be even more connected. The world of movie and cinema and TV shows and gaming. And this is going to be the next big trend. It's already starting to replace superhero and comic movies and TV shows. Those are starting to die off because they're not very successful anymore.
Starting is a strong word here.
They don't make money for the companies anymore. Disney has lost.
Because the public lost interest.
The company. No, why did the company lose interest?
Because they milked the cow to death.
Yes, because the quality of those movies and TV shows has reduced drastically. Yes,
because all these companies, when something is successful, they go for quantity over quality.
Of course.
They say, okay, this is good, successful, good. Make 100 titles now on this while it's hot.
Bob Iger, the current CEO of Disney, has said a number of times that they fucked up. They made way too many Star Wars movies and shows instead of focusing on quality. He said that.
Also Marvel.
And also, Marvel is under Disney. Disney bought Marvel, that's the thing. And Marvel has been on a decline since then because Disney don't know what the fuck they're doing right now. Most of the really good creative people have already left that place. It's now a barren wasteland of extremely woke progressive people who shove their ideals into their fucking movies.
That's not the only reason.
No, it's not the only reason, but it is a big reason. If you all the movies and all the TV shows right now are inserted with horrible fucking
wokeism is everywhere. This is and not everywhere collapsed like this. Disney collapsed with these titles because they did exactly what we just said. They started dishing out huge numbers of products that had very little artistic vision and soul.
Yes.
They just wanted to make maximum profit
it also
on
has
the successful idea.
Yes, but it also has to do with the people they give the projects to. They used to give the project to people who are actually comic book fans, who like the stuff they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Just Sweden.
But those people have a hard time of making something that has no soul.
Yeah, so then they said, okay, you can go. You made us all the money in the world. Now we can move on. And they bring these new people, young people, who never read the comics, who have no idea what the fuck the source material is, and many of the times are saying in interviews, many interviews, bold-faced saying, listen, I don't read the comics and I don't even like the comic that much.
Yes.
They resent the stuff that they're actually producing. It's ridiculous.
But they're cheaper and they make they make the product faster.
Cheaper, faster.
But this is it. And this is why I'm
merchandising.
We got yogurt. This story is amazing. You know, this movie, we're talking about Spaceballs right now.
One of the greatest fucking parodies ever.
I don't know if you know this story. The fact that they are laughing on this merchandising in the movie is the very reason why they allowed him to make it. When he went to Lucasfilm and he said he wants to make a parody, they did not agree. They said this will hurt the profits of the franchise. Yeah. And he said, people
won't buy enough toys.
Exactly. And he said, I promise that my movie will not have a single merchandise associated with it. We will not sell anything. It will only be the movie. And this is why they agreed for him to get the license to make a movie that is about Star Wars. And this is why he laughs about the merchandising in the movie. This is why the whole scene of he says merchandising, yogurt and hats and everything, because he knew
we're talking about Mel Brooks, by the way.
Because he knew he's not going to sell anything. So he he doubled down on laughing on this part.
It's such a genius movie. Mel Brooks
Amazing
used
movie.
to make some of the best parodies of all time. That
Bro, the
hold up to
opening
this day.
scene. The opening scene
it's so funny.
is amazing. Is ingenious. Every time my wife and I just watched it. Seriously.
Oh, yeah?
Not long ago. We
Great.
felt like watching it again. And you just watch the first minute and you start laughing. It's so good. Even when you remember and you know what it is, you expect the giant spaceship to finish and it's still not finished. It's like 5 minutes of a starship. crossing
Jabba
next
the
to
Hutt.
you.
Oh.
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut. Oh my god, bro! He's a huge pizza,
Yes.
and he's eating his own like
No,
pepperoni.
the assassin with him is the one that eating on the pizza.
Oh, it's
Good
so-
pizza. It's so good.
And John Kennedy plays the fucking
John Kennedy,
He
yes.
plays. He's
It's not
such
Kennedy, it's Candy. It's
John Kennedy is the legend,
Yes.
the comedian. Oh
He's
my god,
called
he's
Barb.
he's playing the Chewbacca, right?
yeah, he's a dog. He's flat picture like he's taking a dog. And he's called Bar.
And he has dog-like tendencies, right?
He has a tail, come on, and he keeps turning around and tail hits people in the face. Because he's huge. The actor is huge.
Yeah, he's fat as fuck.
He's also very tall.
Yeah,
not
he's
a huge person.
He's a huge guy.
He's like an under the giant type of guy.
He's one of the funniest actors, man. Mel Brooks, John Candy, like those movies and those actors. It's like there's nothing like it today. Nothing even close. Sorry for being old right now and being nostalgic, but today's climate, you will never be able to do.
Well,
this kind
the
of-
guy that plays is not Han Solo, but the Han Solo character.
Yeah.
Lone Star.
Lone Star. Yeah, he's a famous actor. I know.
He's a famous actor.
Yeah.
And he plays serious movies as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's a comedian. He's also great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
He
sure.
played the president in Independence Day.
It's funny, yeah. That's exactly it. That's the character. I forgot his name, but Mel Brooks plays the actual the Yoda character, right?
He plays the yogurt. His name is Yogurt. He
Yeah,
plays the
but that's
yogurt
the
character.
Yoda.
He plays the president, the empire leader.
Oh yeah, right. No.
He plays lots of stuff.
Oh my
there.
god, we haven't even mentioned the star of the movie, the guy who plays John
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
As a kid, the scene where he says ludicrous speed and then they stop and he crashes into the wall, I would pee myself.
Wow.
Every time I would laugh to passing out.
Oh my god, what was his name? Do you remember?
Big helmet.
What?
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet.
And what was the name of the?
Oh, he's amazing.
What was the name of the?
I'm surrounded by assholes because they're all family assholes.
Oh my god, the Darth Vader parody there is so funny. His helmet is so huge, and he's a small guy. He's a small guy. He's also one of the greatest.
I can't breathe in this thing.
Bro, he had a streak of so many great 80s movies, like Little Shop of Horrors,
That is an amazing movie.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like so many great
Yes,
movies.
he was the big comedian of the.
Oh, of course, fucking Ghostbusters 1
Yeah.
and 2, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he had such great movies. He was such a perfect.
He's an 80s legend.
Oh, he
He's
is
a legend.
him. We're mentioning a lot of 80s today. Him, fucking John Candy is a fucking legend.
Sure.
Mel Brooks is a fucking legend.
Of the 80s, yes.
Yeah. He continued being a legend to some of the early 90s as well. To be honest.
Sure.
Men in Tights is a funny fucking
All his
movie.
parody titles are well known. Men in Tights
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so funny.
Yes.
And what do you call that?
He had a Dracula one
Sure.
as well. It wasn't as funny, to be honest.
He was amazing at taking a successful movie and then parodying it.
Oh yeah,
Just laughing about all the tropes in that movie.
Yeah, and then the more modern parodies that came later they were not as funny, to be honest. Some of them were good. Okay,
Because the trend
the first scary movie is a very funny movie.
Yes.
It's a very funny. I even love the second one. It's stupid, so stupid.
Those were trends of the time.
Yes.
Like everything, it passes. Trends pass.
But a lot of the jokes that went in those movies and I mentioned those movies on purpose because a lot of the humor in those movies today will be considered too offensive. Oh, it's too offensive. It's too
Yeah, I have a
reductive.
perfect example for you. Austin Powers.
Oh my god, another fucking legendary movie, bro.
Those are legend, and they are rather late.
Mike Myers.
I think they are late 90s or even beginning of 2000s.
Yeah.
Mike Myers only was famous with Wayne's World. You know, that's what the movie that made him famous.
Yeah.
And those are parody movies, Austin Powers. They're laughing about the James Bond franchises and the Secret Agent movies.
Yep.
And they are so vulgar, so offensive about everything.
Yeah, and yet they have a soul and a heart to them.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
like
done with taste.
Yes, it's not like.
But today, people
No.
would get offended.
Another perfect example, which is a more modern movie, but still a movie that you wouldn't be able to make even 6 or 7 years ago. You wouldn't even.
Bro, the show Friends would not pass screen
No,
today.
no shit, for true. And that's true. And also, the perfect example I have to give is Tropic Thunder. Tropic Thunder.
Oh, I love that movie.
The movie was made in 2010. There is no fucking way anyone would let you make a Tropic Thunder movie where a white actor
he's
is
playing a black
actor.
Yes.
What?
And not just that, playing a black actor and, painting his face.
Face black.
Painting his face black, yes. No way that passes today.
Do you know that they made screening especially for African Americans to check their reaction to
No,
make
I
sure
did not know, but that makes sense.
Yeah, they made to make sure.
Come on, this is
They wanted
this is the movie company.
Of course, yeah, they wanted to make sure that they didn't cross the line, and
yes.
they said that the reactions were so good that it gives them a huge amount of confidence in the movie. Because that's the thing that most people don't mind if you like mock them in a funny way that is also like respectful, which is exactly what he's doing there. And they don't mind. It's funny. I don't mind when people laugh at my religion or at my expense, as long as it's tastefully done. I don't mind. People today are so sensitive. Everything you say, they get like getting insulted and getting offended today is trendy. It's cool to get offended today. It's ridiculous.
The funny thing I see in these trends, and we are saying today, but all of these things you're saying, wokeism and the stuff we are mentioning, is only in the US.
Not true. I think it's also in Europe.
It starts and it's mainly there.
Yes,
No,
it's
Europe
sipping.
is not as far like that.
Yes, it's not as far, but I think it is
Because
sipping.
of course, it's sipping.
sipping.
Come on, United States is the
huge-
West leading empire.
Yes,
Come on,
they
this
have
is
a huge cultural effect on all the world.
But that's the thing. All those things are big there.
Yes.
This is American culture shit.
Yes.
And I find it as a weird paradox.
But listen, before you finish the thought, sorry for cutting you off here,
Yeah.
but what you just said is very important. America, me and you,
United States. America is a very
United
big...
States, okay? The United States of America. We and you consume, and most people that probably are listening to this, consume so much media made in that area. If it's movies, TVs, and games, so much of what we do every day is consumed it's directly produced in that huge fucking empire.
World's
okay?
largest economy, come on.
No, so what I'm saying, yes. So what I'm saying is, no matter what, if wokeism is very strong there, it will seep to your daily life in one way or another.
I don't know, because I'm sorry to tell you, I don't know if you know, but the American, they are losing power, bro.
Yes.
They are declining.
Yes.
It's sad to say, but it is the truth right now.
But it's also true that wokeism is starting to die away slowly and surely because it's not making money for
Well
those.
deserved.
They're not making money. Those companies that invested so much, Disney is the prime example. They're losing so much money right now on their projects. It was just announced that they canceled the next Marvel movie, the next Captain Marvel movie. They canceled that. They canceled another two or three movies that have to do with comic book movies. They're seeing that they're writing on the wall. It's the comic book movies and the Marvel movies and all those movies are starting to not only bore the audience, but also they're so oversaturated the market, and they also inserted their fucking shitty messages, progressive messages in those movies that they made it even decline faster. That they're starting to shift their views as well. They're starting to get rid of those people and bring in people with creative ability and people who actually.
I just hope they won't overcorrect, because lots of these things are overcorrections.
It will 100% overcorrect. Of course, it will. This is.
But this means they will bring all
classic.
kinds of far-right,
yes, of course,
conservative idiots.
This is exactly why Trump will be elected again.
I hate that.
I don't want to get political.
No, I agree with you, and I hate that.
This is exactly what's happening because of overcorrection. I mean, this is exactly what will happen. It is what it is, man. I don't know why we can't just find a happy medium.
I just want to say, the way I see the wokeism trend is hypocritical. and I have an allergic reaction to hypocrites. I'm very, very...
It is very hypocritical. And can I give you an example?
Sure.
And I will show you this, not now, but I will show you this video later. And if you want to rage quit the video by 1 minute in, I will be very surprised. It's basically a woman, a black woman who works in EA, in one of the EA's smaller studios. And she basically, I don't know why she even said that, what compelled her to say that shit. But she's very proud of the fact that there are no white people in her team at all. It's all people of color. And she's very proud of that. She said, because it makes me feel a lot safer. It's a safe environment. That is some of the most racist shit I ever heard in my life.
Sure,
it's ridiculous.
The minorities are allowed to be racist.
Yes, if it was a white person, a white woman saying that shit, saying that there's no black people in that, and it makes her feel safe, that woman would be fired and maybe even thrown to jail in today's climate.
Look at any minority in the world. Any country that has a minority, it's okay for that minority to have schools of their own.
Yeah.
But it's not okay for the majority to have schools that are only for the majority.
Yeah.
This is the world has always been skewed this way.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is these people are saying the whole woke problem, the whole woke agenda is saying inclusion, right?
Yeah.
Inclusion is their big word.
Inclusion, yeah.
This is their big word.
Inclusion and diversity.
Yeah.
Include
everyone,
yeah.
So that they have large diversity.
Yeah.
And I say, really? Because you say you are inclusive, but then all your social media is hashtags.
Yes.
And hashtags is not inclusive. Hashtags is labeling things, and anything that is not in the label is immediately the enemy.
Oh, there's nothing.
So how is that inclusive when the entire world you see is in eyes of tags and hashtags and groups and labels, and if it's not in the right label, then it's the wrong label, and then it's the enemy. This is very inclusive. Yes, it's not hypocritical at all.
Anyway, yeah, I think I don't want to go. I don't want to go more deeper into this subject. We got too political. That's my bad. I think I got us there. But it is related to everything we're talking about, the gaming and the
Sure.
movies, the TV. So we had to mention it in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's it for today, boys and girls. I think it was we talked mostly about one subject, which is not characteristic for us. We usually go all over the place.
Not really.
This time we were very focused, I think, because this is something we had to talk about. It's a very important. We were laughing and joking, but you can tell that when it comes to the industry that we love and passionate about, we're not very happy about its current state right now.
I really hope developers and QAs and the voice actors and all of these need to
composers.
unionize. They need to unionize and fast, especially with fucking AI and the way it's developing and where it's going.
Yeah, they
you need to have strong representation. This is in your best interest.
Yes. Protect yourself, boys and girls. You deserve it. You put your passion and your life into projects that take literally years of your life, and you make so much sacrifice. Stand for what's yours. All right, guys. This is Inconsistency.
I'm Werewolf. Guys, please visit our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, play the YouTube game. We would appreciate it very much. And same here and on Spotify. Like, subscribe if this is the way you consume it. We love you. Bye.
See you guys. This is MLC, episode 2 of our podcast. Bye.